YouTube, what's going on? Mike Swingman here, giving you guys another YouTube video. In today's video, we are going to dive into how to be more selective at the plate, especially when it comes to MLB The Show 21. I got this a lot of questions during my streams, and I had to make a video of it. But before we tap into that video, I want you guys to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, bell notifications button, so that you guys are notified for my future content on this channel. But before we dive in, also, I do stream on Twitch. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, basically every day except for Tuesday. We do that at around 7:30 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. So go check it out. Hit that follow and join the chat. If you guys have any questions, if you guys need help with any tips hitting when it comes to hitting, pitching, and etc., highly recommend you guys go check it out. Okay, but with that being said, let's tap into the video. All right, guys. So when it comes to being more selective in the show, and this is something that I have noticed that worked for me, and I would like to say that I've created a mindset or an approach that can help the average goer like yourselves. But here's the key mindset, and here's something that you're going to always realize. Okay, you're going to have two types of pitchers. Okay, you're going to have the aggressive pitcher, who your opponent will probably just go after you and throw strikes and then throw balls after. Or you're going to have the passive pitcher. The passive pitcher is basically going to throw balls to force you to swing at them, to make you a better hitter. And then, let's say if he just throws a lot of balls, then he'll come in with the strikes. Okay, so you're going to get either one of them. You're going to get one or the other. So you as the player have to be good at analyzing that. And the best way to do that is realize how many balls and strikes he's thrown. Look at his ratio. Look at his ball-strike ratio. Is he throwing more balls and strikes, or is he throwing more strikes and balls? I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Or if it's like right in between, if it's like right where they're kind of balanced and they're equal, he's probably a passive pitcher. Okay? So always remember that you're looking for an aggressive guy that's throwing strikes, or you're looking for a passive guy and throwing balls then strikes. Okay, because more aggressive guys are going to be throwing strikes and then they'll work balls at you. Okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is always stay within your zone. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Okay, when it comes to staying within your zone, you got to remember that at some point, your pitcher, your opponent, they got to throw strikes. Okay. So when they're sitting here, they're not throwing strikes, they're just throwing balls, they're forcing you to become a good hitter and so forth. You as the player have to realize it. You guys stay within your zone. And the best way that I like to do is place my PCI here, and I like to work up and down. I like to work up and down because it helps me to really focus on staying within the zone. Usually when I try to pull my PCI, to the side, that's where I lose myself. But when I stay up and down, usually it helps. Now, I've had other approaches where I've been up and in, or low and in, or just in. I have noticed lately that this approach, going up and just going up to down, has worked tremendous for me. Okay, it doesn't give you all the time a perfect, but it helps. Okay, but what you want to think is that you want to stay within your zone, the strike zone. Okay, stay within this zone. All right, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for something in the dirt. You're trying to stay within your zone. Okay, and more likely than not, you're always going to get pitches. They're going to be within the zone or out of the zone. More likely than not. Okay, so you guys stay within your zone. Have that key mindset, like, hey, I am not going to basically reach for something. I'm staying in my zone. If he gets a strike, or he calls me out, or he strikes me out, so be it. But I'm sticking to my zone, up and down. Stick to your zone, and I promise you do that, you'll be just fine. Okay, but the things that I'll tap into next is the key areas you need to look for. Okay, now I have, just from my experience playing this game, the key areas that you're going to look for, especially because most of your opponents are going to throw strikes in these areas, mostly. Okay, they're going to force you to become a better hitter. Now, sometimes it's different. Some aggressive guys are going to paint it right in the middle, or maybe up and in, or I wouldn't say up and in, but maybe up in middle. But these are the areas that I want you to look for that they're going to throw strikes at. Okay, there are 3 of them. Okay, I got the up and in. The up and in portion is right here. That goes for lefties too. It's not just righties. It's up and in. you're always going to have a pitch, usually as a strike, especially if he's maybe ahead of you or behind you. You're always going to see somewhat of a pitch up and in. It's just going to happen. Okay. Low and away is the next one. This is where the slider comes into play. Okay. Low and away especially is devastating because when it comes to low and away, you're going to see a lot of slurves. You're going to see a lot of maybe some change ups, maybe fastball if it's an outlier to maybe, you know, make you shook, to put you, you know, to freeze you up. I've seen that many times, and it's happened to me where I've struck an out like that. But this is another area that you're going to notice that is really huge. Okay, lots of guys are going to go this way, especially for sinkers, to force you to, you know, time it well and go the other way, and so forth. But I've noticed that low and away is one of the favorites that you're going to see a lot of top 50 guys use and a lot of good players use. Not just top 50, but a lot of good average players are going to use that spot to force you to maybe become a better hitter. Okay, so you just got to be careful to look low and away as well. This is the area that they're going to throw a lot more strikes at, or at least try to. Okay, all right. Okay, so the last and final one is up and away. Okay, now I know you guys are probably saying, well, what about middle in or middle away? It's like, well, yes, there is going to be times you're going to get a middle in pitch, but that kind of forces the up and in portion. Okay, that kind of goes up and in on you. For this one, up and away, you're going to see this more likely than not every now and then, especially when it comes to sliders or even maybe curveballs, changeups for sure. I have seen many changeups happen in the up and in portion, and fastballs as well. But you're going to notice that you're going to be this pitch is only going to be seen when it's 0-2 or it's some pitch that you're not going to be looking for. Okay, but this is an area that I've seen a lot where guys will throw like their sliders. Sliders are going to be they're going to be utilized more in this area than fastballs. Fastballs, more like sinkers, will be utilized there, but more likely than not, you're going to be seeing a lot of sliders. Okay, so that's the area that you got to be careful of. Okay, in regards to how to be selective at the plate. Because you're always going to see it. It's always going to be up and in. It's either going to be low and away. It's going to be high and in, low and away, or it's going to be up and away. It's always going to be these key areas that I've noticed from experience playing the show. Okay, and just like a little bonus, I guess one other key area that you could go with is the middle in. Okay, I've noticed a couple times where middle in or low and in, it's a big key, but the only time you're going to see middle in or low and in is basically a slider. That's the only time you're going to see this pitch is a low and in slider. That's it. When it comes to middle in and low and in, that's it. More likely than not, you're always going to be seeing the fastball. Man, my time is a little off. I'm just I'm waking up doing this, guys. But remember, up and in, low and away, and up and away are going to be the pitches you're going to see as strikes. Okay, just to give you a heads up. All right, just always remember that, guys. All right. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I kind of showed you guys a little bit of how to be more selective at the plate, because I know a lot of guys, you guys have this tendency of being anxious, trying to be very aggressive when it comes to going at the plate or going at the pitcher. But the best thing that I always remembered is sooner or later he's going to have to throw a strike. But remember, when it comes to throwing a strike, there are two types of pitchers, aggressive and passive. More likely than not, you will always have the passive pitcher more than the aggressive. If you do have the aggressive, I noticed that when I get the aggressive guy, I've always had a great hitting game. It's always the passive guy that I've got that usually I'm kind of a little off. So always be aware of the passive guy over the aggressive. The aggressive you want, because he's going to just be pumping strikes and you're going to hit it. Okay? All right? But before we let you guys go, if you guys like the video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, comment in the comment section below on what you guys thought on how to be more selective, or what you guys thought of the video. That would be great too. But also share this video as best as possible so that there's more people out there that can see this video and that can help them out in the show as best way as possible. Okay, and also hit those bell notifications button and subscribe button so that you guys are also notified for my future uploads on this channel. Okay, I'm Mike Swingman signing off, letting you guys go and letting you guys, wishing you guys actually for perfect perfects and pinpoint pitching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.